give it a little bit of a leeway in. All right. So there we go. The class has started now. So everybody get in here who needs to get in here. But shout out to the people that's in here already. We're about to get started. So y'all pretty much know how this goes. We're going to give some people some more time to get into the room. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Y'all just get y'all questions on. Whatever y'all have. You know what I'm saying? We'll answer questions in the room first. And then we'll go to the brothers and sisters that's online, all right? And with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We'll be right back in like a couple seconds. All right, here we go. All right, so I think I'm good. Sound good, Mataziala? Yeah, I hope that sounds good. All right, so I think we good. Hold on 1 second. All right. All right. I think that's better. And, all right, cool. So we'll go ahead and get the class started. So if anybody got any questions, shout out to let me see who's in here. Shout out to Shapara, Donald Clean, Anisha Jones, always in here. U.P.K Top, what's going on? Sarah, just starting paint, what's going on? And you know, just make sure y'all share the class or whatever, so that we can get it out to more people. And of course, if y'all have any questions, y'all can go ahead and get them on, and then we'll get it on right from that point. But we'll first start off. Anybody got any questions in the classroom, and we'll try to get them answered. All right. Some questions in the class. Shalom, Kanai, what's going on? All right, so the class tonight is going to be on the discourse of the wise. You know, like getting counsel, how to deal with counsel. If you know, for every brother and sister that already knows, you know what I'm saying. But if you don't know, that this is the brotherhood class. It's the Tuesday night brotherhood class, and what we talk about here is how to establish brotherhood, how to get to a point where we can utilize this brotherhood to overcome a lot of these obstacles that we have to deal with each and every day. And without that brotherhood or without that sisterhood, we can't get to that next level because we don't have the foundation. And the foundation is the brotherhood, and that's where it starts at, right? So what I want to do is I want to go into the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, to pull some scriptures and so that we can further bring it home, all right? So let me start it off with Philippians 2:2.
All
right, Philippians 2:2.
Okay, come on.
All right, Philippians.
Very good.
All right, Philippians 2. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. 2:2.
The book of Philippians.
Shalom.
Book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Verse 3, verse 2.
One more time for the top,
Philippians 2, verse 2.
All right.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord.
See that? Like, that's the way we have to be. You can't be on one accord if you off by yourself. You have to get with brothers, you know what I mean? And you have to, you got to get into the brotherhood. You know, a lot of people, they feel that you could just sit home and, you don't have to be a part of anything. And that's not the way the nation of Israel ever worked. You know what I mean? We never worked by being individuals, and I talk about it all the time. I even talked about it in my lecture, we don't have the power to be individuals. Yeah, you might see that, the oppressor, he can be an individual. Chinese people can be individuals because they have enough group cohesion. We don't have group cohesion. And when you see what happens when they catch you by yourself and you're an individual, and you see what's happening to Kyrie right now, right? What's happening to Kyrie is they want him to talk to the Jewish rabbi by himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got Kanye West out there by himself. And that's how they do, because we don't have enough group cohesion as a group. And this is why their groups are able to dominate us, because we're just individuals. So, but if we were groups like we claim to be, like the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP and the Urban League and all of these other, black grassroots groups that are supposed to protect people like Kyrie Irving, right? That's supposed to step in and say, hey, it's enough. You know what I mean? He apologized for what he said, whatever, or not. He didn't even say nothing, but he apologized, and that's that, and we can move on. Right. But you're not going to keep on tearing them down, in the media or whatever, because if, you're not going to do it, because these groups are supposed to protect black people, but they don't, because we don't have a group and we don't have brotherhood as a nation. And that's why we're able to get singled out and completely, shut down. All right. Read it one more time from the beginning of 2. No, you don't got to read it from the top, but it's Philippians. But I just want you to read from the beginning of the first 2.
Philippians 2, verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy.
Right, and that joy, and what's the joy?
That ye be like-minded, having the same love.
Right. We have to have the same love, which means that we have to love each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have the same love if some of us love black people, right? And then then some of us love the oppressor too. We all gotta have the same, we gotta be like-minded, right? And we gotta love each other. The Jewish people love each other. That's clear. They love each other and they don't give a damn about nobody else. Chinese people love each other and they don't give a damn about nobody else. The same thing with the Arabs. It's clear they love each other and they don't give a damn about nobody else but each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way that we have to be too, if we want to be able to have something or be able to achieve something. And, otherwise it won't work. All right, go ahead.
Right. So like I say, if I may, that's just one dot that us black folks just can't connect for some reason. Like, we can't just go from A to B. We gotta make a pit stop. What about them? Or what about that? We can't just be focused just on us just for once. We can't just have singular focus just one time, just be selfish just one time in your life.
Right.
Just be selfish just this one time. Just try it out for 6 months.
Right.
And see if your life don't be a whole lot better.
Right. And you absolutely right. And if I could just add something on to your heavy point that you just made, is that, the general basically said it. He said it. He said, look, you know how, like, every time we say, like, when something happens to a black person, what do we say? We say, well, if that person was, every time a white person does something, we'll say, well, if that had been a black person, this would have happened, or that would have happened, or they wouldn't allow that, or we would have did it. You know what I mean? And it's the reason that And what we don't understand is that when they do stuff to us, you know what I mean? Like, we're the first to try to forgive somebody. Why can't we start to be the people that is going to cancel you? Right, you know what I mean? Why can't we have a cancel culture? Why when Kramer, remember when Kramer from, what's that show? The Frasier? It was one of them shows.
Seinfeld or
something. Seinfeld, yeah.
Okay.
Kramer was on there. Remember, he was calling people the N-word at his show. You know what Jesse Jackson and them did? Well, no, Al Sharpton did was Al Sharpton apologized to him, apologized for us using the word nigga. And saying that, maybe you're right, we shouldn't use the word. And then that way you don't use the word. It's like we're so quick to forgive everybody, right? And maybe we should start being mean to people. Maybe we should start being mean to them like they're mean to us. I mean, it absolutely works, and we see that it works, but because we don't have enough group cohesion amongst each other and we're not all like-minded, this is why we get crushed every single turn that we turn. All right? You can keep going.
Khan. Mm-hmm. Having the same love. Mm-hmm. Being of one accord. Mm-hmm. Of one mind. Mm-hmm. Verse 3, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. Right,
strife, which is like contention amongst each other. Like, let's not do something through conflict with each other. You know what I mean? We gotta figure out where we have the common ground at. You know, we can't have common ground if everybody's just an op. You know, and it's so crazy because you don't hear, you know how, like, remember what they was talking about the other day on Facebook, I believe. They was talking about how Nas is irrelevant. Did you see that? What's his name? 21 Savage is basically saying Nas is irrelevant. Right. And I just think about that. I say, you know what? What's wrong with our entertainers being able to entertain until they old? You know, Elton John is like 80 years old and he still bring that damn piano out. Is he alive? Right. Elton John. I don't know if he's alive. I don't know if he is alive. Somebody, y'all let me know in the chat, man, if Elton John is still alive. But if he is, he's still performing. Mick Jagger, all of them. You know, how come they allowed to get old? You don't hear them. You don't hear people saying that they're irrelevant and that they don't mean anything. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you know what I mean? It just can't be everybody. It just got to be just one, or you know, and then it's just that's it. You know what I mean? He's still alive. Yeah. Okay. There you go, Thushing him. Yeah, he is still alive. Paul McCartney. Nobody ever say Paul McCartney is irrelevant. You know what I mean? He just goes out and he does shows and he makes millions of dollars. But it's like, because we don't have brotherhood amongst each other, it's like, it's just out with the old and in with the new. You know what I mean? And it's just the next person in line to just get all their money took. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? But it said that we gotta esteem. It says, but say it one more time. Let me see. Strife or vainglory, right? And right, you're not doing it just because you want to be seen, right? Keep going.
Khan. But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Right, and that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? You definitely have to. I don't think it's none back there. But you can get you a shot of that drink right there if you want. All right. Huh? Nah, right there. It's right there on the table. Brother, he'll get you right once he get back from the thing or whatever. It's a shot right there. All right. So not through. So they said that we gotta esteem each other better than you know the other one, right? And so that means that you always take a low position. You know what I mean? And you esteem your brothers more than you esteem yourself. You know what I'm saying? And we always esteem a brother. We always talk about how our brother, when he goes to the Passover, he's fresh and his stuff is fresh. Or sisters are supposed to esteem each other better than yourself, because that's what brotherhood is about. It's not about competing all the damn time. It's not about. It's always a fight to see who's better. And that's not what this truth is about. That's not what brotherhood is about. And that's definitely not what sisterhood is about. You know what I mean? But also it says look not every man on his own things. You know, and this is specifically talking about those brothers who don't want to be a part of nothing. A brother always, and this is the craziest thing to me, and I hear it all the time, is a brother say, well, I got my own personal relationship with God. Well, that's not the way that it's all ever worked in Israel. Israel has always moved by, you know, a camp, a group, you know what I mean, a congregation. How do we know what you're doing if you in the crib? We don't know if you a closeted homosexual. You ain't around nobody. Who the hell knows what the hell you up to? You know what I'm saying? And this is why, you know what I mean, we have to get together and we have to have this brotherhood and sisterhood, whether you like it or not. That's just what it is. Without it, we're always gonna fail. And you know, and they always try to say we Africans, right? But I'm gonna tell you something that the Africans did. I'm gonna tell you something the Africans did. What the Africans did was when the ANC was against the when the ANC was against the, y'all know what I'm talking about, the ANC, right? When Nelson Mandela was locked up, his wife, Winnie Mandela, she ran the ANC. And the ANC was against the apartheid regime, right? And they didn't tolerate any sellouts in their nation. You know what I'm saying? When they was fighting against the apartheid regime. And the reason that we have so many sellouts in the so-called black community is because we don't have any repercussions if you break the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like when you don't see Chinese people going on CNN talking about Chinese people all day, because guess what? Your family back home is gonna get locked up. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna get locked up. Everybody's gonna go to the gulag, right? And that's the point. We have to have rules in place. We have to have real rules that if you break these rules, you're going to have to pay one way or the other. And the South Africans understood that, and because guess what they did? When they found out that somebody was trying to go behind their back and try to inform the oppressor about what was going on and what their moves were, and you were found out, you would get a tire around your neck and they would just set it on fire, and then everybody would just watch you burn, right? And that's because they care about their people and getting free. And that's the same way, and that's the same approach that we have to take, right? That not necessarily putting a tire around your neck and setting it on fire, but you know, my point is to say that we definitely have to take that same energy, right, you know what I mean, towards shunning people that's not going to be about the progression of our people as a whole, right? And that's what it just has to be. Could you read one more from 4? From 4?
Tamakan. Book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 4. Mm-hmm. Look not every man on his own things.
And that's what we try to do. We try to look on our own. We try to look on our own ways. You know, sisters try to look on their own ways too. They think just because you know you didn't see a couple videos, now you ready to go to clubhouse and hold a room down and talk about, you know, you want to be a scholar. You know, that the scriptures is the one thing that everybody want to teach, right? Everybody want to teach the scriptures. You got everybody think they know the Bible. Mm. And what's so crazy about it is that very same book, because you know how like we talk about how everybody talks about how the Jewish people run everything in Hollywood. They run the Diamond District. They run the news stations. They run the music companies. They run everything off of our records, right? And they're on the top, right? They're on the very, very top. We reject the records, and where are we at? On the very, very bottom.
Right.
So if you can see that and understand that, then you should know there's something that we're missing here. You know what I mean? You still got idiots that's talking about we Kemet in the laws of my Nobody cares about the laws of my Go ahead.
I was just thinking like, and they don't even, they're not even sincere with the records when they do have them. Like they don't really respect what's written in this book, but they still use the information to build up this world.
Right, they use the information because when they read it, they read that it says that the Jews are above everybody. Right. They read where it says, "You're a holy people." You know what I mean? Above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. Go ahead.
So I get if I may, if I could just add to what you're saying, they only appear to use our book.
Right.
When they talk about the Torah, when they talk about the Torah, they are talking about the oral Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people don't know that they believe that when Moses went to go get the 10 Commandments, God gave him an oral law too, and the oral law is written in the Talmud.
Mm-hmm. And so
on the pretense, but since nobody knows the difference between the two words, you know, that Torah and this Torah, they still use our book, the concept of our book to rule.
Right, everything, because they understand out of our book, they understand that, you know, they're supposed to be separated from everybody else. You know what I mean? They understand that they have to have brotherhood and sisterhood, and those very simple principles is allowing them to, you know, be separated and holy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's allowing them to be holy because, I mean, they're separated. Everybody knows. And because we reject it, we get rejected. You know what I mean? And that's what this class is about. It's about brotherhood and coming back from the foundations so that we can build it back up so that we can, you know, be what we're supposed to be in America, right? At this particular time, right? Keep going.
Khan. Verse what was that? Verse 4?
Yeah, verse 4.
Verse 4. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua HaMashiach.
Right, that's in Christ. A lot of people say they love Christ and they follow Christ. And you know, you see, remember when the general broke that down? Like people be like, "Well, I just follow Christ." Well, what does that mean?
Right,
what does a typical day look like you following Christ? I mean, it's just so vague, and it's like we're at the point now where, you know, ignorance ain't bliss anymore, man. You know what I mean? Like it's literally now at this point with everything going on, a lot of people just close their eyes because to wake up to this understanding that you are the real Jews, it just means that you have to change something. You have to change who you are. You have to change the things that you do. And the reality of it is just we don't want to change. You know, matter of fact, hold on. Let me get this scripture real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Galatians 5:1. Real quick. I'm gonna just pull that real quick.
Galatians 5:1.
Yeah, that's a rough one right there. Shelton. That's rough, man. You know, Lord be with your wife, man. Lord be with her on that. His brother said she had cancer. That's rough.
Lord be with her.
That's a rough one right there, brother. Yeah, Lord be with you and your family on that. All right. Good. Whenever you're ready. You got it.
Book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free.
Right. So Christ said that the truth would make you free. He didn't say it was going to make you feel good. He didn't say any of that, but he did say that the truth would make you free. He also said that, you know, that we're supposed to have brotherhood and sisterhood. And if we follow Christ, then we got to follow the things that Christ laid down and told us to do. Right. But to be in that means that we are free. Keep going.
And be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
Mm-hmm. Was that? Go ahead. Yeah.
That was it on 5:1.
What's that one? What's that one I wanted where it says you desire to go back in bondage? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Hold on. Let me find it real quick for y'all. Hold on 1 second. There you go. Go ahead. You good? No, okay. Galatians 4:9. I was in 5 and 1. Galatians 4 and 9.
Okay.
Galatians 4 and 9. Whatever you ready.
Come on. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 9.
Mhm.
As soon as this verse 9. But now, after that ye have known God, or rather are known of God, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
That's what we do. Brothers who lead the truth, sisters who lead the truth, you turn back to the beggarly elements. You go right back after the Lord gives you this understanding. You don't pick to get the truth. The Lord picks you to give you the truth. That's just that. You don't choose this lifestyle. The Lord chooses you, right? You want to say something, Tyler Paul?
I was about to say, a part that I heard in there was like after the Lord has known you. So that's showing that, the Lord didn't know you. And at some point, there was something that happened where the Lord knew you. You was starting to serve him. You in the truth. You learning, like you're saying, you getting it. Then all of a sudden, you just lead the truth. So what is that saying? That means the Lord don't know you.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord ain't gonna know you again.
Right. So it says, read it one more time.
Come on. Galatians chapter 4, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
But now, after that ye have known God,
Mm-hmm.
or rather are known of God, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
Mm-hmm.
Whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage?
That's what we desire. Every time we go out and vote, we desire to be back in bondage. We desire to be in bondage. We just picked the next one. Doug Master, I know y'all been seeing it. It was all on your YouTube. Doug Mastriano, or all of these right wingers. You know how like before you start a YouTube video, it'd be like, don't pick Rob Shapiro. He's bad. You know what I mean? Or he voted for this, or he voted for that, or he didn't pay his taxes, and we get so wrapped up in that. You know what I mean? And we just vote for these people, and it's like, we desire to be in bondage, and we just want to we think that we can make our captivity easier by voting for the right people. But in no way are you going to vote for people to be over you and they're going to do the right thing. When you vote for another people to be over you, and then hope and pray that they're going to do right by you, is just it's a foolish it's a foolish thought, and basically it's like it's the religion. You know what I'm saying? They say we the religious nuts, right? well, people who vote is religious, because that's really what it is. You believe that if you vote the right person in, they're going to finally do right, and black people are going to be free in a system, of oppression in America, and somehow it's going to be back. I don't know. Is it back America? Back to America being great, or is it it's just going to be it's just going to be like it's going to be better in the future. I don't know, because you got two people vote. You got both sides voting for something different. All right. Let me go to. Well, let me go to. All right, let me go to Hebrews 10 and 25.
Hebrews 10 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Not forsaken the assembling of ourselves together.
Right. That's what you can't do. You got to get together. You got to get I don't give a damn. Really, I mean, you want to come here, but you gotta be around brothers, man. You can't be in the crib behind a damn keyboard, trying to, take all battles. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what you got to do is you got to get around brothers. You can't forsake the assembling of your brothers and sisters. You got to get around people. That's what you got to do. Go ahead.
And if I may, what I mean, sometimes, and you can see it with a lot of the brothers who do that, you tend to lean on your own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you run into an issue and then you don't got nobody to ask, or you don't got nobody to, chop it up with and hash it out with, see what's going on, or nobody to say, hey, call into or anything. You just try to figure it all out on yourself. And then a lot of brothers be in error like that.
Right. Hey, brother, you gotta have you gotta get the brother right. You gotta have this part open.
I thought you seen that.
All right, yeah. I can't really see right here.
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, you can have a headpiece, but it gotta have the top open.
Yeah, you too wide, man.
But go ahead.
Here, brother. Hey, man, look.
Go ahead. Read it one more time.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 25, and the reason, because the scriptures say you don't pray or prophesy with your head covered. That's
right. Go
ahead. Hebrews 10 and 25, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
Right. So this is about us getting together and not forsaking that. Not trying to be a part of that. It's so many people that wants to be individualites. They've been saying that word so much now. But individualize, you want to just be by yourself. You don't want to be, I was on Clubhouse for like I don't even want to say, I was on there for like 20 minutes. And that was like the first thing somebody said. This people were saying is like, well, I don't really want to get into camps and I don't really want to do this and I don't want to do that. And it's like, you got to get around brothers, because it's like, if you're not around, then how do we know what you're doing? You don't know what you're doing. You in the crib by yourself. You know what I mean? It's no way you could be in the truth by yourself. It just doesn't work, because there's nobody to govern you, nobody to police you. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes. Everybody gets policed in here. You know what I mean? And when you're around brothers, you get policed. The brothers can see, wait a minute, you looking like, you kind of smell like weed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You coming around, you kind of smell like weed. You sure you ain't smoking? You know what I mean? Or man, you kind of, you had a little bit too much to drink, man. You sure you're not an alcoholic? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have brothers around that's going to be able to see that and check that. But if you ain't got nobody around you, who's going to tell you anything? Your girl, right. your girl, how, and then she called a damn school because she's like, well, he always drinking all the time. It's like, now she called a damn school because you ain't here no more. You trying to be home or whatever, and your rib called a damn school. All right, go ahead.
Verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Yeah, that was off the topic, but I'll break it down since you read it. But that's more so saying about, like, Christ died for what you did do, not for what you do. You know what I mean? And that's why Christ died. And a lot of people, they sin willfully. Once you get into the truth, you just sin willfully because you just like, well, Lord, God knows my heart and all of that. And now there remains no more sacrifice for you. Now you're the sacrifice. Go ahead.
I remember when we was at camp, and I kind of had, made a joke about Christians reading the slave Bible. But literally, that is true. I mean, we got the whole Bible, but they do only literally read the slave Bible, because I got the slave Bible, right? And I got it, and all Leviticus is taken out. All the different parts of different whole chapters of Deuteronomy are taken out. You got Obadiah, the whole book of Obadiah, like Esau, and that's how Esau. And from Obadiah being taken out, I know Esau. No, he Esau. Because why would you say he took the whole book of Obadiah out, and then like certain parts of Acts and stuff in the New Testament? You know what I mean? Because what the oppressor always knew, that if you read Leviticus, you would at least know that you had laws to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But if they take it out, right, and teach you to be lawless, then what? They can rule over top of you,
Mm-hmm.
because they understand who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The 1747 map said the kingdom of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
They know who is a marker. They know who they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they give you this Bible and teach you to be lawless, then I can essentially rule over you until you figure it out. But it's been so long, and that's the thing. Like, Christians haven't figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
They still teaching you slave doctrine,
right? Because we want to, because we've been taught that. I mean, this has been so ingrained into our DNA. You know what I mean? That we have become weak. We're like the weakest nation on the earth. Weakest nation, and we're the strongest nation on the earth.
right?
We're the strongest nation because, I mean, you see, imagine fighting the army with 10,000 LeBron James is coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Cats, Judah, we big. You know what I'm saying? You got the Native Indians that get real surgical with them damn bow and arrows. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got the Mexicans and everything. They real surgical with them knives, man. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, just together, man. You know what I mean? We would be something that would nobody would be able to touch. So it's like, why are we on the bottom? If we're such a strong people, vibrant people, the most beautiful people on this earth, why are we allowed to be ruled over the way that we're ruled over? You know what I mean? Why are we ruled by people? Like, I was at the slavery, right? And my supervisor was like, it was like a motor, right? It was like a motor that was on the ground. The motor wasn't even that big. It was like the motor probably was like maybe 70 pounds, 75 pounds, but it's like top heavy. You know what I mean? So my supervisor was like, yeah, man, let's get the truck, the hand truck, go grab the hand truck, and then we both can just, just get this motor, and then we could put it on the hand truck, and then we could roll it over to the truck and then get it in or whatever. So I'm looking at the motor, I'm like, hey, but I just picked the motor up. I just picked it up and put it in the back of the truck. He was like, wow. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it wasn't even heavy. But and he's way more feeble and you know what I mean than I am. But it's like, how is his nation able to rule our nation? You know what I mean? If clearly we're stronger. You know what I mean? And it's because we don't have the brotherhood. We don't have sisterhood, and they're able to exploit that. And because of that, the Lord is with them and he's not with us. And that's just the real truth. All right. Let me get let's go to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 44:4. Shout out to Yaquatazar, shout out to YMB Bronx. Big Main always in the building. What's going down? Shalom, Lord of Christ. Let me see. Facebook user, all right. Barack Manal always up in here. Cedric Reynolds. All right.
Yes, you call it what?
Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 44:4.
44.
Yeah, if you go, I like this Bible right here that I got. This is the 1611 edition, and this edition here has the man. We got the likes up today.
Yeah.
We it got the Apocrypha already in it. You know what I mean? This one, it be tripping brothers up at camp, boy. So Ecclesiasticus 44:4. Mm-hmm.
44:4. Come on.
Yeah, that's the one I want right there. Yes.
This is the Apocrypha. Out of the Apocrypha, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 44, and verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels.
Right. So that's how you know how you're, a good leader. You can tell a leader by his counsel, the counsel that he gives you, which is going to be right counsel, counsel from the scriptures. A lot of times we don't want to go to the person that's going to give you the right counsel. So what do? We go to the young man who's in the class. You know what I mean? We go get counsel from him. Or the sister who just came into school, that's who sisters want to cleave to, right? You don't want to do that. You want to go to, if you're a sister in the school, and I know sisters like to say that they don't want to talk to the men because we don't know what it's like being a woman. All right, no sweat. Well, go to a senior sister in the school that's going to give you the right counsel. Don't go to that sister that's a negative Nancy in the school that just, she just trying to escape a cult. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to her. You know what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is once you go to her to try to get counsel, when she does leave the school, she's going to be on Clubhouse talking about all y'all business. All right? So you want to go to a senior sister in the school that's been around for a while. You know what I mean? And you want to go and try, if you need to get counsel, try to get counsel that way. If it's womanly issues or whatever that you got. And then, you know what I'm saying? But then also you can always reach out to, the generals, or reach out to your captains, or, your camp leaders, or, something like that. All right. Keep reading read it one more time from the top.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 44, verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels, and learning meet for the people.
Right. That learning is good for the people, right? Go ahead.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions.
That's it. If you want to know what to do and how not to mess up, then you'll be good to go. You just get good counsel and just do what the counsel say. Like, don't go to counsel because you just want to get somebody's opinion. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever go into counsel like that with that mindset. Like, I just want to just get your opinion. I'm going to do what I want to do, but I just want to hear what you got to say. Because then you wasting people's time. You wasting my time. I got to sit on the phone with you for 2 hours and tell you that, yo, man, you shouldn't be fighting with your rib. You shouldn't fight with your rib. And then only to find out that you locked up because you was fighting with your rib. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't waste my time. Just do what the counsel tells you, because when you get counsel from a brother, you're getting the counsel from the Lord. That's the counsel that's coming from the Lord. All right. Ecclesiasticus 8:8. Remember that the one sister. They told her. They said, look, man. She was talking about. Remember the brother who left the school. She was like, yeah, we always fighting. We always fighting. They told her, look, man, just don't contact the brother no more. The brother's crazy. He's off his meds. Whatever. Don't deal with the brother. What did she do? Go right over there and deal with the brother. And then when it goes bad, the first thing you want to do is you want to go on somebody's platform talking about you escaping a cult. But how about you just listen? How about you do that, and then you would have been good. Like, listen to counsel. Don't be the Salakia brother. You know what I mean? Don't be the Salakia sister. You don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? Checking in from Louisiana. All right, Makwadash. Matthew 25:40. Let me look at it real quick. But go to Ecclesiasticus 8:8.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, verse 8. Despise not the counsel, despise not the discourse of the wise.
Despise not the what?
The discourse of the wise.
The discourse is the communication. You know what I mean? It's the communication of a brother who's wise. You know what I mean? And you want to make sure that you don't say that one more time. You don't what of the wise?
Despise not the discourse of the wise.
Right. Don't despise it, man. Don't reject it. Right. Hold on one second. Okay. You don't want to reject good counsel. You know what I mean? From a wise brother. Right. Keep going.
Khan. but acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
Right, like what the brothers say, acquaint yourself with those. You know what I'm saying? A brother say, "Yo, you gotta relax, brother. You know what I mean? You should do this. You should do that. Sis, you should do this. You should do that. Sis, you might need to just take a break off of social media for a second.
Right.
You commenting on everything. Everything don't have to be commented on. Sometimes you just need to just chill. You know what I mean? So I remember when I used to get that urge. You get that urge. You just gotta say something. I gotta say something on this post that already got 400 comments on it. Like you're one more. We're talking about. You just gotta add your 2 cents in on top of the $400 that's already in here that's been collected from everybody. You gotta add your 2 in just to say it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you could just let it go. Sometimes you ain't gotta always be the one that always gotta say something. You don't always gotta get involved with anything. Sometimes it's just cool just to hold your peace and just don't say nothing. All right. Go ahead.
Khan. For of them thou shalt learn instruction.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Go ahead.
And how to serve great men with ease.
That's it. You know how you serve great men with ease? Just follow orders. That's all you got to do, man. Just follow the order. You'll be all right. You'll be good to go, man. That's a good thing about being in the truth, man. All you got to do is just follow the order. Everything's already set. A brother coming into the school. Hey, what should I wear? We already know. Put all black on, wear boots, wear a headpiece, you're good to go. Oh man, well, where's camp gonna be? It's gonna be right here. Okay, when is the high holy day? Check the calendar. Everything is already laid out for you. All you gotta do is just follow orders and you'll be good to go. You know what I mean? I learned that when I first came in. You know what I mean? I learned that. Everything all you gotta do is just follow orders and you'll be all right. You'll be fine. And then you'll be in a position to give orders. You know what I mean? And brothers that are coming in, they'll follow your orders. And that's just the cycle that it goes. You know what I mean? And that's how we become a well-oiled machine. Mm-hmm. That's how we have group cohesion amongst each other. You know what I mean? And that's how we move and we move forward. That's really all it really takes. It's not really a rocket science. It's not really rocket science. It's about putting your pride to the side and understand that you got to serve something greater than yourself. And a lot of us haven't got to that understanding yet to realize that this thing that we have here is greater than you. It's greater than you spending time with your rib. We know your rib wants you home, but we need to go out and do work. We can't do this work if, you're trying to, make sure your rib is good at the crib. Nah, she going to be all right. She knew what she signed up for. You know what I mean? She knew that you were a priest and of the Lord, and you got to get out and you got to work. And I always took this approach. You want to make sure that you don't let those types of things get in your way of the truth, because if those things get in your way of the truth, then the Lord has no problem with taking it and removing it out of your way so that you can completely focus on what the job is. You know what I mean? So you want to always make sure that you're in the best possible position to do the work, right? Any more?
Not on that verse,
all right.
Unless you want me to go to the next
one. What was the next one? Let me hear it real quick, and I'm going to answer the brother question in Matthew 25 and 40.
Verse 9, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers.
Right. And that's, really the scripture is just really just breaking down, like, we all, and you could use Matthew 15, and what's that? Matthew 15, where it says, 15, what's that? Matthew 15 and 4, where it says the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning.
Romans 15:4.
Right. 15 and 4. Like the things that were done before is what we learned from. You know what I'm saying? And that's, maybe we'd be better off now if we learned from Martin Luther King. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe we should have learned from that, but we refuse to learn. That's one thing about us. We just refuse to learn. We just hard-headed people that just want to do everything our own self, and we don't want to do what the Lord told us to do, and that's just it. You know what I mean? Like even today, I don't even see how people is even. I went on Clubhouse with Tyler Paul. There's people still trying to say that we're Egyptians. Still, people are really still saying, dude was like, yeah, because, it's because, we really Moors, we Moors. And, the thing is, we don't know that we're the indigenous to this land. You know what I mean? And because we're not indigenous, we got to have the status. We got to have, we got to have, sovereign citizen status. You know what I mean? And that way, look, man, the oppressor don't give a damn about paperwork. You see what happened to Kanye? Adidas had paperwork with him. That's paperwork. You know what I mean? Contracts. They said, man, to hell with this contract. The treaties that they signed, to hell with these treaties with the Native Indians who were here. They don't respect paperwork. You know what the oppressor respects? War. That's it. That's all he respects. And the war that we got to fight is not carnal. The war that we got to fight is coming back and understanding that we're the real Jews and coming together. That's the war. That's the only war. You ain't got to fight nothing else. You know what I mean? But that war, that spiritual battle that we got to fight, that's our war right now. And the Lord is trying to show us, like, here and there. The Lord is showing us. You know what I mean? But we always continue to lose that spiritual battle because the Jays are more spiritual than we are. You know what I mean? They more in the spirit than we are. We you know what I mean? Because they say, nah, you lying. That ain't true. And we like, yeah, see, because the Hebrews and Negroes, see, that's a lie. You know, I seen the dude, what's his name? Shaka Atmos. He came out with a video saying that that this is all Kanye lied and this is all fake. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, didn't you just have don't you have a child molestation, underage children? What are they called? Allegations. It's like cats just be just in the conscious community. They just deal with it. They make like a 10-hour long video and then they just back in the conscious community like somebody's supposed to listen to them. Like, you know, just fade away, man, like Polite did. And you be nobody really, you know, because who the hell cares anyway? Yeah. All right. So let's go to the brother's question in Matthew 25 and 40. All right. So his question is in 40. He just said he wanted a breakdown.
Okay. Come.
Okay, so
I got you.
Okay, so 25 and 40. I think the brother who had the question was damn. Oh, Yaquatazar had the question. So the question here, what's going on here in Matthew is he's talking about when Christ returns, how he's going to separate the people. All right. And so your question is in 40, but we'll start in all right, this is about the goats, the sheeps and the goats, how he's going to separate the people. You know what I mean? The people that was down for him, and the people that was on the side of the oppressor, right? How they're going to be separated, right? It's hard to probably you there? Yeah. Could you read 34? We're going to start at 34 and come down to 40, and this will answer your question with the breakdown.
25 and 34?
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 25, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand,
mm-hmm.
Come ye, blessed of my Father,
mm-hmm.
inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Right. These are the men that served Christ. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat.
Mm-hmm.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink.
Mm-hmm.
I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
Mm-hmm.
Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
Right. So these are the men that did the work that has done the work of Christ. You know, like, because we did it in the name of Christ. So just like if we were doing the work and somebody gave us food, it's just like you gave it to Christ. If you was a brother who was doing the work for Christ and out here, you know what I mean, doing the work, and somebody gave you something to wear, you know what I mean, because you was naked, it's just like you gave it to Christ. You know what I mean? And this is what he's saying. Go ahead. Verse 37.
This is verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink?
Mm-hmm.
When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee?
Mm-hmm.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of these, Salaki, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
So I kind of gave you the answer before we got down to the scripture, but this is just talking about the brothers who put in the work for Christ. And when people do things for these brothers, you know what I mean? When we do things for the brothers and stuff like that, then we're doing it unto Christ. You get my point? Because we follow after Christ. And this is the blueprint that he gave us for brotherhood. You know what I mean? And when you do something like, say like a sister, like say like you at camp and a sister brings sandwiches up there to camp because we out there, we've been out there all day and it's hot, and the sister brings some sandwiches and she brings some water. The same way she bringing us the water and bringing us the food, she's doing it unto Christ. You know what I mean? It's just like she's doing it for Christ because we're out there representing for Christ and doing the work. Right? That's your answer to 40. All right. And the reason that they didn't understand it was because they just, it's spiritual. It's just, no different than when they said, how can you be born again? Well, you got to go back in, you know what I mean? You got to go back in your mother's stomach again. You know what I mean? It's like Christ always spoke like in a spiritual way. And sometimes we didn't necessarily get it at the time. And then we would have to have it broken down. All right. So I hope that's good for you, Quatazar. All right.
So like nowadays brothers got the Romans breaking it down. They go to theology school for the Romans.
Yeah. What you say?
They have the Romans break it down for them now. Golly.
Matter of fact, keep going, Matata Pod. We'll read a couple more scriptures just to bring it all the way home for the brother, because we're gonna see the contract to the other side.
Verse 41. Then Matthew 25:41. Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels. Right.
That's the oppressor and everybody that's on the side of the oppressor. You know what I mean? Like that's your TD Jakeses. That's your Juanita Bynums. That's your Daryl Scotts. Your Mark Burns. Who else?
Charles Barkley.
Shaq. That's your Shaqs. That's your
get them.
Your Shaqs. That's your Stephen A. Smiths. Jamel Hill. That's all them cats. That's the devil and his angels. Those are the people that's gonna get cast out. Because keep going.
For I was hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and yet you gave me no drink.
Right. They look at us, and they look at us, and they turn their nose up at us. They don't give us nothing. You know what I mean? Charles Barkley will walk past a camp and wouldn't even look twice at a camp. You know what I mean? He would walk past and wouldn't even drop a $1 in the bucket. You know what I mean? But that sister, you know what I mean, who might have $2. And drop one of them in there. You know what I mean? That's more than anything that Charles Barkley could ever do for the truth. That's more than Shaq could ever do. You think Shaq is going to send some Papa John pizzas out there to help the brothers that's out there doing the work when it's cold as hell outside? No, he's not going to do none of that. So, when Christ was hungry, he ain't give Christ no food. He didn't give him nothing. You know what I mean? And this is what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Because they don't want to lose their seat. It's a scripture in there. It's a scripture. I'm gonna just paraphrase it, but it say like we don't want to lose our seat with the Romans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like these brothers ain't going like. And prime example, and this is like okay, they're on a level with money, but like Pastor, what was that dude name that was out there in Washington D.C.? Was that D.C. down in front of Captain Mashak? Yeah, he's just them on the street level. You know what I mean? Like that dude just he spent at least I would say 2-3 hours at that camp. He spent like 2 to 3 hours at that camp, and he was like, "Yo, I'll spit on you, I'll choke you, I'll F you up." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All for in the name of because they wasn't trying to include the oppressor. And he ran down the street. I'm gonna get off of it, but he ran down the street. I don't know if you've seen him, But he went into the crowd and he started jumping in front of white people like he was crazy. You know what I mean? And the white people start moving out the way like, nigga, what you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they always do that.
You know, they always try to jump in front of you. Don't listen to them. Look, man, they're not listening to him.
Right.
What are you doing?
Because the oppressor knows that they're not talking.
His name was Thornton Fennell.
Huh?
His name was Pastor Fennell.
Yeah, Pastor Fennell.
Salakia.
All right, Kelly Hart said, she said, what does a sister have to do to join? Nothing. Just come to class. That's all you gotta do. Just wherever city you in, I'm not sure what city you in, just come to class. You come to class for 90 days, just do it. I mean, you know, that's all you gotta do. Go ahead.
Put 4 cheeses in the lasagna.
Yeah, that's it.
Different cheeses.
That's it, man. That's all you gotta do. Just come into the school. You know, want to shed yourself for the world, and just have that desire to serve the Lord. That's all that matters, man. It don't matter, you know, about all the superficial stuff. You know, so many sisters, they be like, they don't want to come into the school because this is the most craziest thing ever. Because of the thought that a man can have another wife. That'd be like the craziest thing to me. It'd be like, man, okay, so if you want to stay in the church, I mean, ain't that the same thing? If you was dating somebody in church, still it's a possibility, right? Go ahead.
The difference is, and not even that shouldn't even be a sister's first focus anyway.
Right.
Your first focus.
But you know how many sisters
to get yourself together. But most I have talked to sisters that they can't get past the fact that the thought of a man being able to have that when you challenge them, like the men that you deal with now usually deal with more than one woman. They just lie to you.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you could throw, I would say just focus on getting yourself together, wanting to serve the Lord, getting in here, putting that dress on, wrapping that head up and getting in class, man, 7 to 9. I mean, you can give the Lord 2 stinking hours. I mean, 2 stinking hours a night for, through however many days that the class is open in your town, and just get there. That's all you got to do, and you'll be good to go. And in 90 days, come back on here and let me know how your progress is. Kelly Hart. All right. So for everybody that's new here, we're talking about the discourse of the wise. We're talking about brotherhood and sisterhood. That's what tonight's class is about. It's about being able to get that counsel. It's about being able to esteem your brothers and sisters over yourself. And why we focus so much on brotherhood and sisterhood is because brotherhood and sisterhood is the foundation to any nation, not just the nation of Israel. It's the foundation to any nation. And and to give you an example of brotherhood, all you got to do is just watch what the Jewish people are doing during the Kyrie Irving. That's brotherhood, right? Just look at it. You look at it. That's it right there. They make you apologize. They make you pay $500,000 to the ADL. And you gotta go down to the Jewish Holocaust Museum.
Salakia. If I may, he said, and the kicker was, the last one was, then you gotta go and talk to the owner and demonstrate. You gotta demonstrate how all of this, how that is working. How the hell you gonna demonstrate that you understand it?
Yeah, you gotta demonstrate.
You're talking to a Chinese man. How I'm gonna demonstrate to you how I understand Jewish people. You gotta.
See what
I'm saying? That is crazy.
You gotta be like, I'm completely humbled.
Yeah, and that's
I learned so much.
Yeah,
and I wasn't aware of what was going on to these people. And it's like, well, what about what happens to you? Man, y'all gotta watch this. It's a good documentary. It's about Trayvon Martin. It's on BET Plus. It's about Trayvon Martin called. I can't even think of what it is, but it's about the Trayvon Martin case, and it's like a 7-part series, man. And we was when they didn't lock up George Zimmerman at first, right? They didn't lock up George Zimmerman. I mean, it took them like 50-something days to lock up George Zimmerman after he killed Trayvon, right? But black people was like, arrest him, arrest him, arrest him. And then that's all it was. That's the whole cry of Jerusalem was. Arrest him, arrest him, arrest him, right? So you know what the police department, the state's attorney, the attorney general, everybody was just like, there's nothing we could do. It's the stand your ground law. There's nothing we can do. All black people kept saying was arrest him, arrest him, arrest him. And so finally they said, you know what? We're gonna bring in a new prosecutor. They brought the new prosecutor in. The prosecutor said, you know what? We decided to bring charges up against George Zimmerman, and now he's going to be arrested, right? So now George Zimmerman gets arrested. So now black people are happy. They arrested him, right? George Zimmerman goes to court and gets a $50,000 bail, right? He gets a $50,000 bail. He bails out for like $15,000, right? And he goes home. He fights the case from the crib, right? He fights the case from the crib. He ends up messing up on his bail, and then he finally goes to jail because they had revoked his bail later on because of something that he did. But then once they went through the whole trial, and he got off. So it's like, we got to be careful of what we ask for, what we want, because at the end of the day, we begged for the oppressor to lock him up, and they did. They locked him up. They gave exactly what we wanted. But at the end, he was able to get away. And he's still walking around today. And in the documentary, it shows him signing. He does like spot dates where he signs Skittles. Yeah, he signs Skittles, and you know, he passed him out, and he's like he's hot shot. He's a big shot in the in the right winger. You know, them right wingers, them Trump supporter cats, you know what I'm saying, with these militias and stuff. He's a big dude. You know what I mean? Because he killed, and they have shooting targets that has like a hoodie, you know what I mean? And it represented Trayvon Martin. And like literally, like this is what goes on. So they want us to acknowledge their suffering and pain, but nobody gives a damn about ours, you know. But like you said, they want him to demonstrate what he learned. And that's what you basically got to say is, man, I just learned so much, man. I didn't know that y'all had to go through this. I didn't know you had to go through that. And, you know, you got to completely negate your suffering and your people's suffering because you want to play basketball at the end of the day. All right. Ecclesiasticus 6:6. What time is it? Yeah, we got a little bit. Yeah, this time is going kind of slow.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yeah, 6:6. Got a couple more scriptures, then we'll just end it.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 6. Be in peace with many. Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000.
Right. That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, have that person that you go to, you know, don't have a 1,000 counselors. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to do that. That's what's going to have you all over the place. You know, have somebody that, you know, that you can get good counsel from. And then, you know, and always, you want to always go to somebody who can put a fresh set of eyes on whatever you're dealing with. You know, you want to do that. And, you know, you want to go to those men above you. All right. I think that's pretty solid right there. Ecclesiasticus 32:18.
Come.
Let me check it out. We'll look at that real quick. Yeah.
32. 32 and 18?
Yeah, 32 and 18. I think that's the one. All right, you got it.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 32, verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate.
Meaning that this, you know, that you'll be able to think. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But a strange and proud man
Mm-hmm.
is not daunted with fear.
Mm-hmm.
even when of himself he hath done without counsel.
Right. This brother is not even afraid that he's going to, you know what I mean, that he's going to mess up, and that's what'll end up happening when you don't take counsel. You know what I mean? Because when you could take good counsel, it puts you in a position to be able to think. You know what I mean? And I know I get counsel all the time. If somebody comes to me, and I always say this too, you know what I mean? Like if somebody comes to me and I don't know the answer, that means I got to go get counsel too, because I don't know the answer. But then I got to go get counsel so that I can come back and give you the answer. You know what I mean? And that's how it works. You know, and that's how it's always worked. You know, you always go up. You know, you could talk to your peers or whatever, and you know, you can get counsel too that way. But for things that are above your pay grade, I would say, you know, you want to go up and esteem the men who has had time in the truth, that has dealt with these types of things and overcame them, and then you want to go and get the good counsel from them. But also you want to follow the counsel, because when you don't follow the counsel, you get left out there. Like you know, if the counsel is that you drink too much, maybe you should slow down. You know what I'm saying? If the counsel is maybe you should, not go, go home sometimes. You know what I mean? Not be out all the time. Go home. You know, the counsel might be like, go home. You know, then just go home, man. You know what I mean? You don't gotta fight the counsel, because what happens is, you know, then you get locked up, right? You get something happen, and they like, well, why you went home? You know, did we tell you that you should go home? You know what I mean? Or you drinking too much? You know, maybe you should chill out a little bit. And you don't, and then something happens behind it because you didn't listen to the counsel. All right. Proverbs 25 and 28. Man, we're going through a lot of scriptures tonight.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 28.
Y'all good? Y'all got it?
Come on.
Proverbs 25 and 28. Are y'all good? All right, no sweat.
He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Right. You gotta be able to have power to rule over your spirit, man. You know, when you get those urges to do things, you gotta be stronger, you know, than your flesh. You gotta be able to control yourself. That's what this truth is about. You gotta be able to control yourself, man. You know what I mean? You can't be tripping, right? But it said, "He that ruleth." Say that one more time. He that what?
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Right. Because you can't control your damn self. And you know, with this truth, that's why you get time to learn that, you know, to learn the tools, you know, and the tools is by you being here and constantly working at it. Nobody gets this truth and then you just automatically you come in as a trooper, a young man, or you a sister, you just coming into this truth. You're going to have to work at it. You know what I mean? And you come in here to get stronger on how to rule your spirit. That's really all it is. It's just like with anything, you know, like when you go to the gym, you don't get big like, you know, right away. And that's how they get you with those commercials, right? With those commercials, they, you know, the shake weight, you know, they be like that. You know that weight that you shake like this, and then you see somebody that's shaking the weight and they're real big. You know what I mean? they muscular. You sitting home like, well, I guess if I just buy this shake weight for $40, I could be like that by just doing this. And it don't work like that. You gotta put in work. You know what I mean? If you want to, you know, get built up, you know, it's just like that with anything. You know, you go to the gym, you get built up. You go to, you know, you learn the scriptures, you get built up. It's just something that you have to work at, and you can't just do it by just sitting back and doing nothing. All right. I'm gonna get Jude 1 and 19. Jude 1 and 18. Jude is right before Revelations, right?
Yeah.
Philemon, boy. I don't know. It's right before Revelation. Jude, the book of Jude, the 19th verse.
Right before Revelation. So Revelation is going to be the last book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's only one chapter.
Yeah, it's just verse 19.
Yeah, there you go. I missed it if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You go too fast. Jude 1 and 19. It says, "These be they who separate themselves."
Yeah. So these be they who separate themselves. There's a lot of brothers who try to separate themselves, sisters who try to separate themselves from everybody else. Now, the truth is, you ain't going nowhere without the rest of us. So, you trying to separate yourself just proves that, we got a lot of work to do, because, it's a lot of our people, man, that just, it's like, man, I just don't, I just can't do no camps because there's a lot of stuff going on. Why the hell you know what's going on? How do you know if you're not there? Because these, those brothers in there, they don't really have brotherhood. Okay, well, how the hell? Well, then won't you come and teach us how to have some? You know what I'm saying? But nobody can ever know because you're just not here. So, don't use those as cop-outs to not get with your brothers and sisters, man. Don't separate yourself from your brothers. Separate yourself from your enemies, but not your brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
It says, "Sensual, having not the spirit."
Sensual, meaning you emotional. You know what I mean? And you don't have the spirit because you just emotional. You know what I mean? And we living in a time where there's an attack on masculinity.
Right.
And you shouldn't be emotional about anything. You should see that it's a attack, and we're the last line of defense because, I mean, without the Israelites on the scene, the way we've been on the scene, it's like, man, anything would be able to be done and nobody would say nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, without the Israelites, we wouldn't even know. Like without the research savvy that we have and being able to maneuver through the internet and pull stuff out of this book, that book, and all over the place, Black people would be doomed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We and I really understand that now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really is the last line of the
We might all have that what's that thing called? That thing from Egypt, man.
Oh, the lock. Yeah, the side lock, like
man,
like
we
soccer.
all be walking around with that goofy stuff, man.
And then you know what? You know what's funny? Like, it's not a lot of names for Egyptian. Like, if you're an Egyptian, it's not really a lot of names. Like, you either gotta be like Sa-Neter, Sarah Sunseti, like, you know what I mean, Sankofa, Shaka, and then there ain't nothing else.
Yeah, because they can't speak the language.
Yeah, like,
so
what else you gonna be? It's only like
they can't figure out nothing else.
It's like 10 names you can use.
But the only names that's out there, you know what I mean? There's names that's already out there. I mean, other than that, they don't get read it. So
right, it's only like 10 names you can use. Yeah. Like, your name is Akhenaten.
That's it.
Then they're gonna start trying to like put them together like Akhenaten Serengeti.
Oh, let me see this one real quick. Hold on. And
that was it on that?
Yeah, I think that was it. Let's see something.
Something about the holy day, right? Coming up on the calendar.
This high holy day coming up? Should
December
be
17th.
December,
Okay.
right? Hanukkah, yeah.
That'll be down next spring.
Smyrna.
Oh, y'all not gonna be.
No, we'll probably we're gonna have it up here or at the other school. Yeah, we already hit it. Oh, so it's gonna be at the other school. Yeah.
What are the?
It's right there. What's that? 12? Oh, it's here. It's here. It's just in Smyrna. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably like 45 minutes. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let me see.
Thursday and I think you said it's Saturday, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, right?
I'll be in here Friday. I mean, we still do Fridays too. Yeah, we do Hebrew on Fridays.
We do Hebrew.
We do Hebrew class on Fridays.
No, yeah, I did get Friday. Saturday. Oh no, I can't.
No, Saturday is Saturday service start at 12. Camp start at 2:30 sharp.
Yeah, Saturday. I can't do Saturday.
Okay, so the brother got a question on
What is it?
Psalm 17, 13 through 15. But
Psalm 17.
let's start off at 8 and then come down to get the full understanding. But this is a prayer, man. You know what I mean? This is a prayer, man. Like, because you go to verse 1, it says, Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry, give ear unto my prayer that goeth out from frightened lips. What's that? Fang lips? Let me look that up.
Fiend.
Fing lips?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look that up. FEI. Okay, so feigned lips. Feigned is a feeling or a feeling, state, or injury. Hold on, let me see. To give a false appearance of
Deceit.
Yeah, deceit.
Lips.
Okay.
False.
Yeah, false, false lips. So
treachery.
it says here to cry into my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips. Like, this is real. I'm really, like, I'm not saying this because I'm just saying it just to say it. This is real. What I'm praying for right here. All right.
Right.
Whoever got it, y'all
this
got
ain't,
it.
This ain't coming out of deceitful lips. I'm
I'm
being honest right now, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where you wanted me to start at?
You can start at 17 and 8. The brother's question was he wanted a breakdown on Psalm 17, 13 through 15. But I believe if we start at 8 and go down to 13 to 15, we should get the full understanding.
Right. And so, like you said, he's it's a prayer to the Most High, right?
Right.
So Psalm 17 and 8, keep me as the apple of thy eye.
Mm-hmm.
Hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
From the wicked that oppress me.
Right. So these are the people that oppress, like that's what we pray for. This is actually what we pray for too. We say, for the Lord to open up the internet, you know what I mean? To bring down Edom and everybody who's with Edom. We do it every Sabbath day when we say, Psalms 83, you know what I'm saying? That's the prayer where, the nations that were oppressing, at that time, the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, the Hagarenes, the Swords also joined with them. You know what I mean? Like those are the, the nations that was oppressing Israel. And so this is a prayer. This is David, right? This is David, right? Yeah, this is David. And he's saying that, the people that oppress, right? Go ahead.
It says, verse 9, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about.
Mm-hmm.
They are enclosed in their own fat.
Mm-hmm.
With their mouth, they speak proudly.
Right, enclosing their own fat is they good. You know what I mean? They good. They full. You know what I mean? They got they got power and everything. That you know what I mean? Go ahead.
They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes, bowing down to the earth.
And they said they speak proudly too. You know what I mean? Like the oppressor always speak proudly.
That's right.
Hoorah, hoorah. You know, that's what they say. You know, they think that nobody can beat them. You know what I mean? Because they're pride. Go ahead.
And I just was watching a video, right, where you know, the dude Adam 22. Well, he's Jewish, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's Jewish, right? His last name is Must something, but he was on this. So what they're doing is they're sending like all the Jewish people out to combat what we're sending on the internet, right? So because I've never seen him on somebody else's show, but I just happened to be watching this brother, right? I didn't even know who this brother was, but this dude, Adam 22, the no jumper dude, is on this show, right? Mm-hmm. So the dude, he's sitting back and he's interviewing the no jumper dude, but he seemed like kind of nervous to ask the questions that he's asking. As you could just hear it, right? And so he's asking about Kanye and all that, and then Adam, he says something that it just made my blood boil. You know what I mean? He was like, "What? Black people being Jews? That's an old conspiracy. That's an old conspiracy theory." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's insensitive. Mm-hmm. That's dehumanizing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we don't even have we don't even have an identity, and you trying to tell me that what my identity is a conspiracy theory. You're trying to tell me that what I know to be true is just a figment of my imagination. Right. But that can only be played for the brothers who don't know that. Right. So as he's saying it, the brother kind of don't know what to say back, because see, a lot of black people who listen to it or whatever like that, they don't know how to combat it. A lot of black people don't have proof.
Right. And that's why they continue to talk.
And that's why they continue to be able to do that. Right. When they can't prove what they're saying. But it's the fact that black people don't challenge what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like nobody challenges what they say. So whatever they say, it goes unchecked. You know, it's like
right. No sweat.
So we was at verse 11.
Verse 11. Yeah. Uh-huh.
They have now compassed us in our steps. Mm-hmm. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Mm-hmm. Right. Also showing that they're above the earth. Remember in Obadiah, this is kind of like alluding to they looking down to the earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? That pride is up, looking down to the earth. Mm-hmm. Compass us about.
Go ahead.
Verse 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey. Mm-hmm. And as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Mm-hmm. Arise, O Lord. Mm-hmm. Disappoint him. Mm-hmm. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Right. So he's saying that he wants the Lord to be on his side, and, be for us and not them. Right. Go ahead.
From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. Mm-hmm. They are full of children, mm-hmm. and leave the rest of their substance to their babes.
Right. They're doing that now. They're still doing that now. How do you think that these families are so rich? These families are so rich and wealthy because they're passing it down from slavery. When we got over here in slavery, you think that all those insurance companies, they have family members, and their family members that pass it down from the 1900s, the 1800s, pass it down to the 1900s, to 1900s, pass it down to the 2000s. And if we don't get it right, the 2000s are going to pass it down to the 3000s. That's how it's going to go. And so they're doing this right now, right? Literally, every top bank, every bank at Wall Street, everything that's publicly traded on Wall Street has came from, because remember, black people were the first people that were sold there. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Like you were just saying that, it's going to go from the 2000s to the 3000s. Being African ain't going to get it. Being African is going to get us handed down from the 2000s to the 3000s. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't ruffle any feathers, man.
And that's the thing. We don't know how long it can take. You know what I mean? The Lord might just be like, all right, I'll just wait until they get it right. Mm. And if we don't get it right, then we're just going to be here forever trying to figure this out. one way or the other.
So, like, if I may, man, this might be crazy, but if that's the case, we might have to have a civil war because
Yeah, you know what I mean. It just, I mean,
Salagi, I mean, because
I think that it's gonna.
We can't continue to let the ignorance of some hold back, the progress of the many.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
especially if we're telling you what's true, and you know it to be true, or at least you know the truth, but you continue to keep teaching what you're teaching. Nah, you holding back progress.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. But the reality of it is at this point in time, the Lord is trying to show us. He's giving us, you know what I mean. He giving us one-ups. He's throwing us the alley-oop, and he's doing. The Lord is really working to give us the looks that we need, and it's all on us whether we choose to hear it or forbear, like the scriptures say. Keep going.
So like it says, verse 15. For as for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
Right. So meaning that, that we gotta, if we want to get these oppressors off of us, man, we gotta be the type of people that the Lord can look at and be proud of. Because we're not gonna get free from the oppressor and then think that we're gonna go and start a new planet, a new world with just the same filth that we already have in this one. You know what I mean? We gotta get past the point where we can withstand temptation. You know what I mean? You think you're gonna be able to you're gonna run the nations and you still got a lust for white women? You know what I mean? You think you're gonna run the nations and you still are a liar, a cheat and a thief, and you're gonna be able to rule people? No, that's not gonna work. The Lord ain't gonna do it like that. The Lord is not gonna, because he might as well just keep it like it is now. You know what I mean? The Lord is testing you to see who can stand up and who can, follow the commandments around other nations, just like the other nations follow their commandments around us. You know what I mean? They know they're not going to deal with you. They ain't bringing you home, right? Them East Indian girls ain't bringing no niggas home. You tripping? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, her family ain't racist. Yeah, they are. But but hopefully that answered your question. You know what I mean? The breakdown is about some prayer, man, where he's praying to get the oppressor off of him, man, and to get back in the good graces of the Lord. And that's what we need to be doing. You know what I mean? But also, what comes with that, when you praying to get the oppressor off of you, we have to be the type of people that's in a position and ready to rule. But right now, we're not in the position, and we're not ready to rule nothing as a nation. Now we in the school, we ready, you know what I'm saying? We to that point, but because we have great men that's in leadership that could take us there and really free us as a people. But I'm talking about like right now on the main scale, the leadership that's in power right now as a nation of people, we're not ready. We're not fit to lead anything. We're not fit to raise up a damn ant as a people right now. You know what I mean? It will get there, but right now, not at this particular moment. Because everything is the way that it is. Everybody's scared to death to say the J word. All right. So hopefully that answered your question. All right, no sweat. All right, so I'm gonna turn the class over to Precinct Officer Mataziala.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they ought to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashara. That's 10% for every penny the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate. It's whatever you like to donate. Whether that be drink, food, whatever you like to donate, we accept. All right. upcoming holy convocations. We have the
Dedication.
dedication. That's going to be in Smyrna, 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, Delaware. That will be at our Delaware South location. That's December 17th. I believe that's a Saturday. All right. So that'd be 202 North DuPont Boulevard, Smyrna, Delaware.
Oh yeah, and dedicate. So you got to try to bring something to dedicate to the school. That's like we rededicating the temple. So whatever it is, like, you know, if you got a picture that you want to put in the school, if you got a new ornament you want to bring in, that's fine. Whatever it is, it could be new chairs, it could be a rug, it could be, you know, whatever you see, huh? Books. Yeah, books. You know, you can paint. You know, you'd be like, man, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and repaint some, you know, the door or something like that. That's how you rededicate the temple back to the Lord. All right. And sisters, you could do something too. You know, if you want to go down there and, you know, help like decorate the school, or, you know, something that you want to do that you want to put in there, you know, just go out and just buy it, man. And then just when on the, you know, when it's getting up to the time, just say, hey, I want to put this in the school. And there you go. It'll be in there.
All right. And with that being said, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or a scarf. And with that being said, men of Israel, Imagine, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakam. And what we said was Yahweh is the name of the Most High. Most High, in the name of Yahweh Shai, is whom the world calls Jesus. Bless you. All right. Yajimata, hands down. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the sisters. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Sisters of Majin. Yeah, so sisters online. So we just imitate like we're facing the sisters. Sisters of Majin, which means to stand. We give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majin Shabbat. Majin, Barak. Yahweh Shamar Al-Tham B'Hashem Yahushai. What we said to the sisters was, Most High God watch over you in the name of Yahushua. Yadu Matah, which means hands down. Class dismissed. Don't we have those?